Yes, and they also, they look at trends and statistics, demographics from the area that surrounds Rushford, because they consider that to be sort of a feeder for future housing needs, especially when we're looking at senior housing. So they'll look at the outside population and what they feel would be likely to move to Rushford if the housing was made available. They also want them to make sure that they take into account the impacts of Destination Medical Center, the growth that we're seeing in Winona and in La Crosse. As those economic engines fire up, provides more opportunity for people to live here and travel there to work.
Would they take account of how many people do leave the city or leave Rushford to go to Mayo Clinic or La Crosse or wherever?
Yes.
Good.
Is this going to be funded through the EDA?
Probably, yeah, I would think so. That would be the right place to go, because that's their mission. So it would come out of their general fund.
That'll be done by fall, huh?
Hopefully by early summer. It should take 3, maybe 4 months. And again, not only did the Housing Partnership recommend that we update this study, 3 of the developers that looked at the study and looked at the potential for a project, they indicated the same, that the numbers needed to be updated. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing an update quite so quick.
I'll move that we accept the Maxfield company's bid and for the housing study, and you know, basically following the verbiage of the recommendation of staff on option 1.
Second?
Motion by Mr. Bunky, second by Mr. Dahl. Any questions, comments, or otherwise?
Would there be any benefits of having the village in on that?
No. They will take demographic information from the village and from Peterson, probably from as far away as Houston, and maybe even Mabel. They look into all of those demographics, but it doesn't need to involve them personally. This is a study just for our city.
Okay.
Anything else? Oh, go ahead.
Well, and I'm assuming that this information would fit nicely into the new strategic, the new comprehensive plan, excuse me.
Yes.
Okay, as
We'll reference it as we reference our other housing studies. It's just it'll be an updated tool.
right. Yep.
So we won't physically join those, but
Right.
we'll reference it.
Right. Okay, good.
Anything else? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion passes. Thank you. Let's move on to 8E, Justice Street Java Alley. There's an email from Amy Feller, who's requesting that the alley be made one way. Andy, want to see that?
Yeah, if you got it spare.
Thanks. They're putting a drive-in window
On the alley side, and they would prefer that traffic goes north to south towards the bins. That's where the driver's side would be, next to the building.
the structures there yet? Coming up?
Apparently, they're not gonna build out from the building, it's gonna be flush. So, hopefully they have some longer armed people working there.
They put the window in,
Oh, they did?
the window's in.
Yeah,
Oh.
it just, I thought it would protrude out.
Well, what have they got, those slide arrangements that goes out?
No, it's all flush with the building.
Maybe at the bank, where you
Yeah.
just put in the.
It's far, it must be far enough back
Happy
then
good
so it
coffee.
doesn't interfere with the stairway.
It's close, and the electric meter at the other end, but, you know, we think it'll be negotiable.
Would they have swing out windows or
It slides.
It slides across.
slider?
Yep.
It's an alley that's not used very much though.
No, and that's one of the reasons that we think people can get in there,
Yeah.
fairly close. And we don't, I doubt that there's gonna be, multiple cars stacked up into the sidewalks. I suppose it could happen from time to time. There had been a question by email about liability for dumping traffic out onto property of the co-op. Co-op has stated to me several times that they're okay with this. If you'd like, I can get that in writing, but I don't think that's necessary.
I think we do have it in writing on their building permit application. They attach that to it.
Is there an actual letter, though?
I think so.
Okay, well, that's helpful then. There is some city property there. But if for some reason in the future, that property gets redeveloped, or the co-op decides that they no longer want all that traffic, or any traffic flowing in that direction, that would be a problem.
Not in the foreseeable future.
Not that I could see, no.
So if we approve this, then it needs to be approved and revocable.
Yes.
So we have to retain that option.
Future councils would like that flexibility, but you can do that at any point in time anyway. I learned that from experience in Lanesboro. Made a street one way, and a month later, made it two-way again. People that requested it, once they got it, they realized that it wasn't gonna work for them. And all I'm really looking for is that the council is in general agreement with it, because then what I wanna do is sit down with Terry Chiglo and get this drafted up properly, so that we can sign it, or we can do whatever we need to do.
I'll make a motion that I'm in favor of it.
Do we need a motion?
That's fine,
Okay. Sounds good.
but I'll bring back any final work that needs to be done.
Will we amend the motion to direct staff to explore the possibility of turning it into a one-way? Does that sound,
Why?
would that work for, would that work for staff?
That'd be great.
Sound good, Roger? Do I got a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Colvinson, second by Mr. Dahl. Not that I really want to control it that much, but.
Yeah, and I'm assuming then that we'll survey, the feelings of the owners or the tenants of the of the old Tri-County building next door,
Yes.
because there are several, at least 3, I think, maybe 4.
Well, I'll
People
go in
involved in
and talk to them.
Would it make sense for us to look at the other alley between
Grace Place?
Gray's Place and the Rivers Building?
Church.
Because that also has that same traffic issue, if you will, of people pulling out of that alley to the north. You can't see people walking or bicycling or whatever they're doing on the sidewalk until
You're right
you're
there.
past that corner
You're
of
there.
the Grace Place building.
That's exactly